Okay, we get our starting hands. Unfortunately, there is not much I can do about this, which is kind of irritating, but we'll live. We can't do much about the play buttons. So we've got yellow-green versus yellow-green-purple. So we've got a fairly standard colour, whether it's standard deck or not, seeing as it's Plague Maidens, it's not, versus a kind of a homebrew. Not bad cards on either side. They've both got a Collarbock early ramp. He's got a Rush solution to deal with Collarbock if he wants to. That's a Rush Blight, which is just a good card. He's got control. He's got Dunamiz early, so that's a lot of life. Got stuns, Vixens to loot races. These are actually two golden-looking hands to start with. The only thing I would say is that neither of them have anything past really turn 3. They don't have a mid or a late game currently, and they're going to have to hope to draw into that. How much draw they have in deck is going to be really important. Especially yellow-green, you want to be drawing your power cards on curve. There is nothing more threatening than an on-curve Icatus, right? So, we'll watch it. Enter gets the first turn, burns Weight the Bones, and he goes for Collar. Standard play. I've never been sure what a good hand for Plague Maidens look like. Honestly, anything, as long as you have some form of armor or regen, he's got the Isle of Sun, and you've got cards to burn leading up to it, that's as good as you can hope for with Plague Maidens, right? If you want to do a Plague Maiden on curve, you very much want a Collarbock in hand, but that is not a Plague Maidens thing, that is just a green thing. Congratulations, you're playing green, you are always wanting Collarbock in opening hand. He plays Collarbock. Now, Dunamiz has a choice. Race or a Collarbock. It looks like he's going for Race. It's the only... It's not the only play. He could put the Collarbock in a non-agile position. He would have to put it on one of the extremes to make it immune to this. And even then, it's not immune. So Racer is 100% the right call here, because something I really want to impress upon people, and I think it's one of my first rules of Mythgard, is always, every turn, double check their path, even if it's something like Fires of Creation. Double check it somehow hasn't changed during the game. Always double check the rules affecting the cards and double check their power. If Dunamiz put a Collarbock in one of the extremes and Enter was feeling particularly spiteful, he could swift across, impel, kill. Dunamiz doesn't get ramp, he does, they're an equal board stake. Enter is ahead. And he would have wasted ramp. So this choice that he is currently making to burn the purple and please Racer it is the correct one. That is 100% correct. Alright? A Swift with Impel can reach the entire board. It is amazing. Okay? Also, anything Blast with Impel can reach the entire board as well. That's for another time. Let's continue on. Pulls a Vicious Cycle. That's good for a control option that burns it immediately. Okay. Here's the problem with burning a hard control like that against something with like Detainable, in my mind. Again, I will caveat everything I say is my opinion, right? Aether. Mate, honestly, yeah, if you send it through, even if I don't think you're covering this match, and even if you are, we'll go through yours as well. We'll see how my commentary compares. Why not? And absolutely not a problem, my friend. Yellow has amazing Awaken effects. So purple has quite good Awaken effects, especially if you're seeing things like God of Gamers or Perfect Grades, etc. Perfect Grade isn't an Awaken, but it's pretty much ridiculous. So there is an issue in using Detain the Poor over a hard kill spell like Vicious Cycle, because they are going to be able to, potentially, depending on what you need to get rid of, get that Awaken effect again. So I might have kept Vicious instead. It's kind of preference at that point, but I feel like there is a bit of a leaning towards Vicious Cycle, at least in my mind. Okay, plays a fairly standard card draw Khorne, absolutely. This should be Plague Maidens. Interesting. Well, unfortunately, he burnt the... Okay, so he had the core mechanics. It is there. He had the core parts of what he needed. He had regen on Plague Man. And he didn't use it, which is a huge issue. Now, in something like this, I would have played the Plague Man. I don't care if you're drawing a card from Khorne. It gets you a slight advantage, but it's not something that's going to bother me if I can get Plague Mans out. He has no tempo on board. He has very little ability to rush and kill it. We haven't seen any indication of rush from him besides purple. And a racer is not enough to take out Plague Man, so I wouldn't have burnt the Isle. That is the prime heresy that has been committed here, because you've broken your deck. Racer and Bun, absolutely. And maybe he was thinking, but these are the kind of things you have to weigh up. With one racer burnt already, and we haven't seen an indication of any pikes yet, mind you, very early game. Yeah, absolutely. I play yellow-purple and I'm always upset when a maze gets popped like this. Yeah, that's fair. Listen, I'm not saying that it's not a large, not tempo loss, but a large future play loss, right? Yeah, not having that additional card could be what makes and breaks the game. Absolutely. I guess it just depends on how he uses Plague Bones. But either way, I would have kept Isle. I would have burnt this turn to Tane instead of Isle. Isle was more important. Right? And Flockle makes a good point. Makes an excellent point. You are not in range of any control effects like Temptation or... Come on, help me out here. The green one. Oh god. Traitorous Murmur. There we go. Got it. Why are you not putting it there? So, second thing I would do, after you've checked all your rules on the board, always control as many lanes as possible. This is a 2-lane control, right? Yes, he has Impel. Yes, he could move it. He doesn't want to. If I can put a minion in this 3rd lane across and force him to waste 2 of his next turn 4 mana, half his mana impelling something across to blight it, fantastic. If that creature doesn't die and I've managed to do something else as well, I've won the tempo. If he'd put it there, he would have been able to hit it blighted and still be able to play a 4-cost card, which in his case is a Plague Maiden with an ability trigger on what should be a Iris, right? So always check your rules. Always control as many lanes as possible. Lane control and board presence are most decks' priority at all times. Also, Mason's Defender, so it's important to be able to impel, otherwise it can still protect a minion for a turn. That is also a great point. Which order does Khorne versus Blight trigger in? Positive effect triggers first, right? So it would actually tick up, then tick down, it would still be on the board. So yes, another great point from Lazar there is that even if you do move across its Defender, it's going to protect anything I put in those 3 lanes. Right? So, let's keep going, see what happens. So we're burning the 3rd with Hit Autumn. Absolutely fantastic. We get our green now, yeah. And he's got the room for this. It's... Now, hold. Does he have anything else to play? No. He could have... Mesa Libre is pointless. He could have drawn a card, essentially. But with the presence of a Poxbringer, so we've seen a Yellow Rush element, he's taking the safer and the more long-term oriented play there, and he's just playing it. So absolutely fine. Always listen, everything I'm going to say tonight comes with 2 asterisks, right? 2 of the little stars. one that says this is only my goddamn opinion. I apologize if I'm making an idiot of myself. Secondly, it's everything has an exception. Everything has an exception. Okay? Let's run under that assumption. Alright. Security fountains. Okay. Not a great card. Unfortunately. I loved them when I first started playing the game and didn't know any better. They're just not... Two health at that point is just awkward. Hey, there we go. We have the viewer in the chat for the match himself. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Alrighty, let's keep going. Venom Fang Mute. Now, I like this card. It's a good card. 1/4 with Blight, absolutely. I think it's quite decent against Rush. It's gonna force him to 2 for 1 unless you're in Winter and he infuses, but even then, an infuse is at minimum 3 mana. So, absolutely. Fantastic. Nice card to have in a yellow green. That less so. Now, these are lower players, so every time I say you should have Iketurso, you should have Short Stag. Catch you later, Deadfall. Sorry it happened so late, my friend. Where was I? Every time I say you should have Iketurso, Short Stag, Perfect Grade, whatever, I understand that these are newer players. They're not going to have the collection that like I have or some champion players have, right? So, he needs to get rid of those and replace them with something. So far, I haven't seen a Raid the Tombs. If you don't have a Raid the Tombs in the deck, put Raid the Tombs in the deck. So, Casey, what it is it's presented as a tournament. I am watching 3 matches, one after the other, and I am commenting on and using this to teach. The actual games had a week to play, and this is a recording of those matches, so that time zones basically aren't an issue. People don't have to get up at 2 a.m. to play a game just because I live in Australia, right? All right, that'll swing in there. That's all well and good, and he gets the Plague Mains down. Good, even better. That'll trigger. Yeah, doesn't really matter. That was gonna die no matter what. That's regen. That's all goody, goody, goody. Oopsie. Awkward. Gets rid of it for us. Excellent. Yep, Meso Libre for the stun. That's pretty understandable. That's actually a really good play. That's, yeah, decent. Very good on him. Very lucky he drew that. But, unfortunately, now, I mean, it's part of Meso Libre's kit. Let's use this opportunity to teach. If they have Impel and you want to control their movement, you have to play it opposite. If you play it to either side, it is escapable. I had a match last night where a Mithril player threw the game by placing a minion to a side and allowing me to Impel. Again, this comes back to what I'm just going to call Rule 1. Check the rules that are active on the board. Look for Winter. Look for Slayer. Look for Fragile. Look for no rush, all these sorts of things, right? He probably didn't think about how the Impel would affect that. Because he could have Vicious Cycle, right? Vicious Cycle was the safer play if you take Impel into the kit. So now he's lost a fair chunk of his kit, and Dunamiz has a huge amount of power coming. He's got Twins coming, he's got Jinsuk, which can take care of small bodies, and he's got Daikoju. Okay, we get a Vicious Cycle on the Vixen, which stops the loop. Fantastic, absolutely. Do you think Meso Libre is better than Mimic in terms of stalling potential? 100%, not even a question. 100%. Mimic's only good, and I use that term loosely, if you're running a complete stealth deck. Meso Libre is one of the best control cards in yellow. And that's coming from one of the controlliest colours. A stealth deck, like lots and lots of stealth. Yeah, I mean, yes. Schwermutter? I don't know. Has the right of it, you know? Meso Libre, it's an awaken effect. An awaken effect is always going to be better than something that is conditional, right? Because it's when it comes in, it's not demise, which can be got around. It's not, you have to spend a mana on it. What if you don't have the mana, right? This is Mesa Libre is better. 100% of the time, in almost all situations. Now, if discard becomes more of a meta thing in the second set, sure, maybe we have to reassess. But for now, in this meta, Mesa Libre. Balance for card draw, I'd say this is Dunamiz's. If I had to go on guard at the moment, he's just avoiding here. That's probably the right call. And yeah, look, he's kind of just rushing some damage down, trying to pull that away from a central regen position. He'll get some big bodies down. Yeah, sure. I don't even hate the Impel play. It's funny. That's almost quite a aggro player mindset thing to do. It's, I don't need a body on the board, I need the chip damage now. Right? Goes for weight to the bones, that'll be the Plague Maiden. Puts it there. Now, good. Even if this comes across, even if it got Hotel Barkeep, it is still in defender range. Fantastic. The issue there is you are versing yellow-green. 2 colours that turn on at 6. 5/6 in a big way. So you now have he now going into 7. Godsbane, Daigoju, Twins, Ikuturso, Short Stag. I think Boneyard's 8. I don't know. He's 1-off perfect grade. He has access to Misanthropias. He has turned on. If you want to reliably beat yellow-green, do as much damage and set up as much as possible at 4/5 mana. Plague Maiden with Phalanx is very awkward. What makes you say, what particularly do you think is awkward about that while we continue the play? Okay, if not for Impel, what would have been the better play? You had 6 mana on this turn. Let's go back a quick moment. Right, here we are. I mean, just drop Twins. Double bodies and just move that away. If he wants to spend 2 of his mana in a yellow-green which hasn't succeeded in ramp, with 2 cards in hand, to get rid of a Mesa Libre when you now have Twin Juna, Twin Blanc on the board, amazing. Fantastic. Alternatively, what did you burn? Oh, did you forget to burn? You forgot to burn a card. What you could have done, if you were really concerned about that, burn, when you drew it, burn Daigoju, and play Jinsuk. Use Jinsuk to kill that, swing through for 3. You now have 2 bodies on the board, one of which is a legendary, which helps you control, basically permanently, that he has to answer in some. And you would have had the exact same amount of damage. Right? And I mean, yes, you got a card draw element down on the board, essentially the same damage, but Jinsuk is a better body. Yes, now Astronomica. Yeah, the weight, the bones on the Plague Maiden, he's focusing too much on his mechanic, right? Plague Maidens is the thing. It's very easy when you have a combo deck, I find, to go, this is the combo, I have to do combo. Sometimes the combo just doesn't work. It's one of the things I like about this game the most is that the the mythics and even the rares that can set up these combos aren't an enormous part of your deck. So you do have to have contingencies, right? You have to have contingencies upon contingencies. So yes, 100% the better play was Ikuturso. Probably burn Misanthropia, although Misanthropia is very good against, again, high range of these colours. Burn Misanthropia, Ikuturso. When he kills Ikuturso, if he kills Ikuturso, wake Ikuturso. 100%. That would stall out. That would buy time for you to draw another Plague Maiden or draw some card draw or any of these other systems, right? Honestly, in general, yellow-purple is just hard to splash in. So many triple gem cards. Yeah, absolutely. It's not the best colour for splashing. Especially with purple, because so many of purple's good things are triple too. It's really awkward. Okay, Misanthropias and Plague Men. See, he just got the... Hey, thank you very much for subscribing. That's awesome of you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright. Detain on that. Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's Daigoju. It'll do a ton of damage and kill Ikuto. So, mind you, it's Defender. It's yeah, you know. I possibly still would have played the Ikutoso. Make it Defender. Oh, it would have blasted for 8 damage and gotten it pretty close to killing. See, all he's done is he's bought himself a turn with no damage, really. He'll play the Colobot. He'll move the Colobot. Get some health, yeah. At this point, he's praying. I'd love to know, does he have card draw? Is he just not seeing it? Is it even in the deck? Yep, that swings in. Yeah. There's not a lot. So, I get you're going, I've got mana to burn, why not burn it? Keep the Colobok in a spot that is more agile friendly. Don't put it in a quad. You've already had the move for the turn. You don't need to move it anymore. You know? He Jinsooks to stop the draw there. Yep, decent idea. He goes for some card draw himself. That's just for Lurker, so yep, absolutely fine. Oh, okay. Hello, Volition. We see Ikutoso played, makes that Defender. Defender doesn't do a lot, but it does allow him to get around Lurker. He uses the ability to take across so that that doesn't die. Decent move. Really, in an ideal world, he should have played the 5/4 there and used the 4/5 as the blocker. Right? Just to minimize overrun. If you lose by 1 health, you're going to kick yourself when you go back and watch something like that. Always prevent as much as possible if that's a reasonable course of action. Unless you're aggro template, in which case you just, reload. Okay, uses that, draws a Isle. I keep going, click on the actual pause button. Swings there, sure. Plays Kadeho. What he's done there, though, is, like, lost the damage. So, Dunamiz made the wrong play, putting the twins that way around, and then Enter went and corrected that mistake. I do get putting on Benimi, absolutely, but kill that, then move it on to Benimi. You still make that Defender, it still can't attack, giving you time to regen. It can't be, given deadly in any way that will threaten you. Right? You should also, if you're on the attacking side, be looking to maximize damage. Okay, yep. Misanthropia's... I suppose Misanthropia does get the kill. And he does have the way more favourable board state, along with yellow-green, so it's reasonable to expect action cheating. Additionally, he's got a bunch of large bodies. So yeah, I don't mind. Instead of Impel on Benimi, just play Island. Yeah, another great point. That would have given you 2 options for a regen. Yeah, absolutely. Just, yeah, the swing there was the issue. He needed to swing first then. It's a shame this didn't have one more mana, because he could have burnt Misanthropia, God of Gamers, crowned on the twin, and gotten that back for another repeat. I don't think that's the ephemeral twin. Absolutely, the Jin should have killed Maze, so you can just guarantee Iku out of there. Yeah. Yeah, Jinsuk. Yeah, Jinsuk could have targeted this, killed that. Then Ikuturso's just got to contend with that. I guess he's protecting his health, and I do understand that. I don't mind it. It's not an atrocious play, and knowing that the board's about to be wiped of most tempo. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did I just miss something real bad? Wasn't that there? Yeah. That should have swung. Yeah, okay, beautiful. At least you saw it. That's important. The fact that you're looking at this and you're able to pick up things. If you had swung, you would have taken no damage from the Ikuturso that is alive next turn. Right? Just Misanthropia on the 5 is A. Unfortunately. Ah, the corn's up. Yes, I am the stupid. Yep, great point. No, never mind. Never mind. Fair enough. Let's continue. Everything dies to Misanthropia. That comes up. See, the issue here is the second he moves it, it's not Defender. If he had swung there and Volition, yeah, there's these last two turns have been a shambles. I'm sorry to say. Yes, Laser pointed it out. Use the Jinsuk to kill the Maze. You swing with the twin. He doesn't have an Ikuturso. However, he is then also making a mistake with the Ikuturso. Correct me if I'm wrong, Volition still is an action sheet, right? You still get a standard action, right? It's just like stunned next turn or something. I genuinely haven't seen Volition played since the nerf. I don't play Volition. I mean, stunned after attacking. Right. So, that's 13 damage he missed. Yeah, so attack regularly, then Volition. So, this Ikuturso should not be alive. Equally, because you made that mistake, you should be on 2 health. And he would still have the body to block the twin. And he'd be able to play a Kolobok here in the second to right lane. And he could play a Corn to get ready to draw a card. And he could put Isle of Busan under. Not quite that much, but he could have put Isle under to regen it as well. Mind you, it's missing, but still. He should have won the game here, essentially, and he didn't, which is a huge shame. And this is... I boiled this down to essentially just... I'm not saying, ha ha ha, enters a shit player, right? I boiled this down to... You've got this Plague Maiden mechanic that you like. You've obviously got Big Boy Volition as a contingency / a second win con. And his... deck hasn't quite been working, his Plague Maidens hasn't worked at all, he's feeling pressured, right? That's one of the biggest things you really need to do if you want to hit Myth or hit Champion, is you need to learn to just not give into pressure. I know that's a horrible movie cliche, right? But you need to just be able to think logically at all times. True, he would kill that and then... Still a lot of damage. Still a lot of damage, Flopple. Yes. He would have swung there and then had to swing into the twin. Great point. He's saying oops, but he has to have clicked the card and drawed it out. I don't know what his thinking is there. I don't know... What could he have been trying to do? Maybe his... Quite literally the only thing I can account that to is a finger slip. Yes, and the maze, yep, also not a great idea. With Jin Sook, a neg 2, a Colobok will take care of it before you get to play it. You have a health lead. Health is a resource. Use it. If you win on 27 health or 1 health, you're still winning. Right? So, it's 1 damage. Use that as a resource. Oh, and now he's just got Board Mountain. And this is the absolute end here, unfortunately. And Shroud of the Pit. Yeah, that's not good. We see Racer go into Colobot, yep, rush it off the board before he can get much more ramp out of it. We see Imperative Bell go down. Imperatives something. We see another twin down, that's 2 large bodies. Now, Dunamiz doesn't quite have the flexibility of using his health as a resource quite as readily. That being said, it's a 2-1. You could put it there, force him to use mana, right? If you force him to use 2 mana, at this point it's not a huge chunk, but it is something. Right? Could have just put it there and then. There's no AoE in Green Yellow. Yana Virus, but let's be real. Good AoE control. Idric Beast? Okay. Warded Overrun? Sure. I feel like that's definitely a placeholder card. But even then, because he has Wonder Drug, that kind of reinforces my point that he should have put both twins over there. Yeah, I'll take that. Yep. Okay, another Misanthropia, sure. Okay, yeah, he gets more overrun damage from it. Yeah, absolutely. Keeps it alive with the Isle. And, yep. Well, as far as he knows. But, here's a quick lesson. The only, as far as I'm aware, 4 Stealther that is natural are 2. Thriving Shade and Mimic, both of which are minimum 4. 4 health doesn't change a thing, unfortunately, in that situation. Would have been great to have Volition go with that Idric Beast, yes. So, essentially, at this point, he's lost to a finger slip. And none of this would be a problem if Dunamiz had killed the Ikuturso. Hey, this is what the Academy's here for, right? It is pointing out these things to try and... decoy, that is a great point. 4 purple. But, Thriving Shade is purple too, isn't it? Anyway, you've got 3 options, and who plays decoy? Maybe like mono purple. I love how 3 of you immediately said exactly the same thing. Just decoy is purple, there's decoy, but it's decoy. And decoy is 4 mana. All 4 drop stealth with 4 purple. Beautiful. Yeah, and he Wonder Drugs, which is absolutely fine. God of Gamers, yep, sure. I would have preferred Jinsook. Perfect Grade. Because you can Perfect Grade and then if it survives you can... Oh, mind you, this allows him to Perfect Grade and Crown at the same time. So yeah, sure. Whatever way around he wants to do it. Yeah, good choice. Now, he could crown on God of Gamers at this point to get God of Gamers back in short order for the perfect grade. Okay, goes for the Daigoju. With the Sappo guarding him against... Yeah, oh, this has been Dunamiz's game for a while now. We're just watching the proceeding that leads up to the, the execution, right? This is Enter walking up to the headsman's axe. Yep, uses his ability so that he doesn't get blighted. Good choice. Plays a Serpent Den to block that. Ukuturso, very nice. Absolutely. But of course, Spirit Away. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Dunamiz just has the answers because he's had the card draw. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is a